Hey guys, we're here with Kevin Driscoll, the ventriloquist, or as Clyde likes to call him, the puppet master on season 2.5 of Bitch Tank and season 3 of Fish Tank. Before I get directly into it, I would like you guys to go to fagsy.shop and pick up your Austin t-shirts, $25 limited edition. Tiny little Austin on the pocket. It's adorable. You're going to want it. Now, getting into this interview. Kevin, we got quite a few questions relating to you and your ventriloquism, you in the house, you in production, stuff like that. I want to start with your history with ventriloquism. How did you get into this? Like for you, it's obviously a career, but for some other people, it's a hobby. How'd you get into this?
I got a tinkle. What? I got a tinkle now. Right now, I've got to answer these questions. I don't care. I got a tinkle. Okay, I got to put him down. Sorry, he has to go. He has to go tinkle.
Understandable.
So the answer is, I got my first puppet from Santa Claus when I was 5 years old. It was a puppet like it's a toy. It's not a real puppet. I mean, it's not a real professional puppet. And you just pull the string and back like that. And I got this toy from Santa Claus, and I pulled the string, and he said, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And because you can all be a ventriloquist. It's very simple. You just open your mouth a little bit so the sound comes out, but you try not to move your lips, obviously, and you try to change your voice so it doesn't sound exactly like you. So the answer is when I was 5 years old. So let's see. So now if you do the math, that would be 147 years ago. But
I
because
would
I'm
have I
really,
would
really,
have taken I would have taken you for a nice and young Swift 27. I don't know where you get the thousand numbers from, but
well, no, I tell people I'm 112, and they say, "Hey, you look pretty good for 112."
yeah, I
73.
completely agree.
Yeah, but so the answer is I've always just loved ventriloquism. Back in the '60s, there was a show on TV called the Ed Sullivan Show, and they would have ventriloquist of the day on the show, and the puppets. I was just amazed by the puppets. It was Edgar Bergen and with his Charlie McCarthy with a little monocle, and I have a puppet like that I use when I perform for seniors, for people like over the age of 65, because they'll remember it. And then I have a a bunch of different puppets for different occasions and different age groups. So, for example, I told the children that Doug the talking dog will not bite children. He only bites mommies and daddies. Hi, I'm Doug the talking dog. Hi, hi. Okay, so this is Doug. You stink. Doug, can I ask a question? What? When I take my dog Happy for a walk, I mean, when I take her for a ride in the car, she always sticks her head out the window. Why does she do that? You stink. Okay, I got a tinkle. Okay, all right. No, but so the answer is since I was 5 years old, but then I really got into it when, well, make a long story short, I used to be the general manager of an internet company, and it was a 24/7 international company. So I would get calls. I mean, it's okay to call me at 9 o'clock in the morning, right? But if you're in London, it's 4 a.m. and it's okay to call me at noontime. But if you're in Singapore, it's midnight. So I was getting calls round the clock, and I was only called if there was a real problem, because as the GM, I was supposed to be able to fix everything. And I thought I was having a heart attack. I went to the doctor, and I said, I think I'm having a heart attack. I get this pounding here, and he put me through all these tests, and at the end he said, "Oh, Kevin, I know you like high tech and everything, but if you keep doing this, you're not going to be around much longer." So, short story, hard stop. 2017, June 1st, stop. And I decided that well, I'll see if I can be a ventriloquist, because I was basically just a general manager. That's just a glorified title for sales guy.
Yeah.
And you all know how you know how to tell if a salesperson is lying, right?
No, what's the best way to tell? You've piqued my interest.
Well, the way to tell if a salesperson is lying is if you see his lips moving.
No.
So so obviously I thought, well, I'll become a ventriloquist. But actually, that it was something I always liked, and I enjoyed it. And I thought, well, let me see if I can do this now. I knew it was going to be a pay cut, but I started going to all of the. By the way, I'm still answering your first question. It's just that I can't
Yeah,
stop
yeah, yeah.
talking. But
No,
so
you're
the
fine.
first, how did I get into it? And I liked ventriloquism, but I didn't know anything about it. So I just went on YouTube, and then I started going to open mics in the Boston area, bringing my puppets, because there's no way that practicing in front of a mirror will tell you if the joke is funny, and you don't have anybody laughing. It's kind of like performing with what I used to do on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. You don't know if the audience is laughing. You don't know whether jokes are bombing or whether you're doing pretty good, or you have no idea unless you can read the comments, and that's it's kind of hard to read comments and do all of that. So I would go to all these open mics and test out material. And then after a while, I started to get some pretty good. One guy, and I took some lessons. One guy said, says I took a lesson from a guy here in local in the area, and he said, Kevin, you've really improved. You've really improved a lot. And of course, you know what that means. It means in the beginning I really sucked, but I've had this great opportunity to just help people laugh, and they laugh at the jokes, and I'm just so lucky. Today I was performing for a senior center in Clinton, Massachusetts this weekend. Today is the second night of Hanukkah, and on the fifth night of Hanukkah I've got a performance in Worcester, Massachusetts. So you can look it up on the web. It's the Torah Center in Worcester, Massachusetts. I'm performing at the top of the tower, which is the the tallest building, a very fancy place in Worcester, Massachusetts. And I did a similar thing at 200 Clarendon Street in Boston last week. It wasn't Hanukkah yet, but it was a holiday party. And I wasn't Santa Claus, because you can't be Santa Claus and do Jewish stuff at the same time. So I was
No.
performing with my different puppets, and then I don't know, I don't always bring him out, but I didn't bring him out today because there didn't happen to be any Jewish people present. But if you see this guy here, this is you got your yarmulke there. Yeah. Yeah. So this is Hanukkah Howie.
I love that. I
Hanukkah
love
Howie.
him.
Hi,
I
Hanukkah Howie. How are you
love
doing?
this. What? Oh, Hanukkah Howie, dude. Dude, that is awesome. Do you have like a Kwanzaa Quasimodo?
Well, I have for Kwanzaa, my so I have Drake the Dragon. He's black. That's for there's something for summer solstice, or something for. I try to have something for every single occasion. So
Yeah.
Sorry, get back to your question. So the answer is I went to all these open mics, and I started to find out what worked and what didn't, because you can spend all day in front of a mirror practicing on technique, trying not to move your lips. But technique isn't really that difficult if you just avoid some words. Like, for example, if you can say 1, 2, 3, everybody here, if you can talk. If you can't talk, then it's more difficult. But if you can talk, you can say 1, 2, 3. You just open your mouth a little bit so the sound comes out, and then move the puppet or the tennis ball or whatever it is, and just say 1, 2, 3. Can you say 1, 2, 3? No. Just say 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm gonna talk like a girl. Want to talk like a girl? Yeah. Can you say the alphabet? No. Can you say the letter B? B, boy, basketball? No. Why not? You can't. Okay. I talk like a girl. Okay. All right. So then if you just you change the puppet accordingly and make it look like whatever you want. Like 1, 2, 3. Hi. Wow. He's hot.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Can you see them? Yeah.
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
So you just
Never
change the
felt
puppet,
so flattered.
and just try not to move your lips, and you avoid some of the words like the letter B, boy basketball. If anybody here can say B boy basketball without moving your lips, I mean that's a tricky one. But there's workarounds in the beginning. So for example, if you can say 1, 2, 3, And then can you say that? So can you say the first part of the alphabet? So if I was performing for children and they wanted to say 1, 2, 3, I'd get them to say 1, 2, 3. Can you say 1, 2, 3? Yeah, Elmo has a high squeaky voice. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How about the letter B? Can you say B? No. Well, why not? You can't. Okay, so just say the first part of the alphabet. What? Just say the first part of the alphabet. You stink. Okay, did you hear me say B?
No, no.
I said D because I used the
Oh.
beginner ventriloquist trick. You say something and then you try to follow it up with an end, then you stink. All right, so they're more concerned about what you said at the end. Well, is that funny? Should I laugh? All these decisions. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, that makes sense because what is it? Your brain processes the ass end of a word faster and easier than it processes the very beginning. That's why, like, if you take a bunch of words and mash the letters together in a sentence, but leave the first letter of each one, your brain will automatically recognize it or something because the first letter is the last one it recognizes.
So you're a linguist also.
I'm not a linguist. I know a little about a lot and a lot about a little, if that makes any sense.
Well, I know very little about very many things.
It's same here, man. Same here.
Same, dude.
But I have a lot of fun. So the answer is I started off and I didn't know how I was going to be able to pay the mortgage on a ventriloquist. But I started to get some work and people started to pay me for different things and stuff and I was doing okay. And then March of 2020, the pandemic hit. All of my jobs were canceled. Everything I had planned, everything that was all laid out, everything guaranteed, and you had to give them. I gave the deposits back. Nothing you can do. But so I did that. So I thought, well, the point is, the pandemic was actually very helpful to me because it forced me to go virtual. So I bought a green screen. And by the way, if this is recorded right now, you should be able to put your logo or pictures or anything. You should be able to display it on my green screen. And I'm not wearing anything green, so it'll just project on the green screen. But
go for it, Jaded.
To make a long story short, I was able to get some huge international clients like Deloitte. They're one of I think that's the 4th largest consulting company in the world. CBRE, they're huge. I even did something for my alma mater, the Berklee College of Music. They had a virtual thing in 2020 that because nobody could go anyplace or do anything. So I was able to do the December holiday party for Berklee, and I just been so very blessed and so very lucky to be able to just experiment and try things. And my first time I went online live, I did Facebook Live, and then I was able to figure out how to do Facebook Live and YouTube Live with a piece of software that bottom line, I didn't have to pay for anything, so I did it all live. And my mentor, I don't want to say he's younger than I am, but I don't know if you know. Have you ever heard of Jeff Dunham?
Oh, I wanted to get. I was going to bring him up earlier. I was wanted to bring him up because. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. If you go to my website, you'll see a picture of Jeff and me on stage together.
And, that was what I was getting to. Yeah.
Yeah, and I take one lesson a year. That's all I can afford. But he's an excellent teacher. He's extremely. He's just you can ride up in the elevator with him. He treats you like a normal person. I mean, like you're like your equals. And there's no way that I'm equal. I mean, he's been doing this since he was 10 years old, performing for Cub Scouts and stuff. But I always used to go see Jeff Dunham, and when he would come to Boston, and I was seeing Jeff Dunham before he was Jeff Dunham. I don't know if you remember, but there was he had a character named Ahmed, and it was after 9/11. After that character catapulted him. He just shot up. I mean, he auditioned for the Johnny Carson show. It was a show, a late night show, and he auditioned for Johnny Carson 9 times. So he's a perfect example of persistence. You just keep at it. You just keep doing it until you get better. You just keep practicing. And the thing about ventriloquism, you'll never be perfect. You're always continually trying to improve. And that's what I try to do. I try to get a little bit better every single day. I practice. I try to do some of the words that are hard and stuff like that. But it's just I'm sorry. I'm talking way too much. I haven't had a
No,
lot of sleep.
no, I love this. I'm loving this. So far, you are the favorite. Yeah, this is my favorite interview that I've been a part of so far. And it's only been what, 15, like 10, 15 minutes, and I'm having more fun with you than I've had with anybody else I've interviewed so far. I've laughed more than I have anybody else. Like
Well,
you're
you need to
fun
get
to listen to.
you need to get out more. I'm not that good. But it
Well,
was such a
No, these Discord interviews really go to pretty bad during the start. So it's actually great that you're so entertaining. Like I really enjoy listening to your stories.
yeah,
Even comparing yourself to Jeff Dunham, like comparison is the death of joy. You know, you're being interviewed right now, man.
yeah,
You're up
this is
there.
your
I
time.
enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah,
well,
this is your time. This isn't our time. We want to hear what you have to say. We're here to ask you questions and to hear your voice.
well,
We want to know about you. So,
I'm really not that interesting. But I'm 73 years old. I really was born in a very very small town in Nebraska. Tiny town, tiny town, tiny town. It was a tiny town. It was a tiny town, but we even had a zoo. Had? Yeah, I was born in a small town in Sumner. It was the name Sumner, Nebraska. You can Google it. 236 people. That's the population. I don't know if that includes dogs and cats or not, but it was a very very small town. And what? It had a zoo. Had? Yeah, it had we had to close the zoo. You had to close the zoo? Why? The chicken died? Do they know what this is? Do they know it's ventriloquism? Yeah, do they know? Yeah, they catch on quick. Do they know how I
Are
feel
you telling
about
me
it?
the puppet's not real?
yeah, I was curious. What is that puppet's name? What I'm assuming you have a name for every one of them.
Who are you? They don't know. Oh, what is this? Oh, he's dressed up as my elf on the shelf. I don't. Do you know what an elf on the shelf is?
I do. My mom and dad used to read it to me during
Okay,
Christmas.
so
Yeah.
I'm Santa's elf, you know.
Okay. So I'm curious how Santa's elf feels about having Santa's hand up his rectum. That's my question.
Pretty good.
Does it feel like constipation?
G-rated, Jerry. G-rated. Oh, we do G-rated
Oh,
show. Why?
nah. This is fine. This is PG-13 at minimal.
Oh, okay, all right. I don't care. Okay. Hey, where is your other hand? What?
That's,
What? Okay, all right. So the point is, I was a very small town. A tiny town, tiny town. It was a very tiny town, but we had a zoo. Yeah. Had? Yeah. We had to close the zoo. You had to close the zoo. Why? The chicken died. Yeah. Okay. All right, Jerry. That's good. Quiet. You can be quiet. I want to talk. No. Come on, Jerry. Just quiet. I'm sorry. He's a perfect example of what not to do. So I dress him up as an elf on the shelf for my performance today because it was after the holidays, and I didn't dress him up like that when I perform at Jewish events. Obviously, he wears just what he wore like on Fishtank. And Fishtank, what an amazing experience that was. It was and Bert. I had no idea. I really didn't know the characters, and there were 10 people. I think. See, in alphabetical order was Alex, Alexis, Binks, Bert, the big black guy, Connor, Job, Jobe. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Laurent, Mizzy, Cymbal, and Smack. And they were.
I'm surprised that you remembered that. I forget some of the people that were on there sometimes. So you memorizing all of them alphabetically, that's awesome.
Well, they were, I mean, I tried to do a little bit of research about, some of the things, and I didn't know, I would watch it, but I would watch it, at different times when there was not much going on, and then I was told when I got there, I mean, I had all this material that I had prepared, and I wasn't able to do any of it because they said, I said, well, we have a song called Fishtank, and they said what? I said, yeah, I said, well, I wrote a song called Fishtank, and the words are the words are. Jerry, you want to sing it? Jerry, you want to sing it? I'll play the piano. You want to sing it?
I want to sing it. I want to sing the song. We are here on the fish tank. We are here on the fish tank. We are live on the fish tank, and we say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Can we get a round of applause? Can we get a round of applause? That was awesome. That was
Beautiful.
then,
Very
we
beautiful.
love that.
but the point is, it was I had all this music prepared and stuff that just wasn't that that they didn't that they couldn't do. So let me see if I can bring this up. Now this is my band. I don't know. Can you hear that?
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
background?
Yeah, we're able to. It comes through pretty clearly.
We are live on the fish tank. We are live on the fish tank, and we say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We are live on the fish tank, and we all want to thank you. We are live on the fish tank, and we say thank you.
All right. So
That's
that was
awesome.
so we had this material, and they said, "Oh no, you can't do that." I said, "But I wrote it." And I said, "I own the material, so it's copyrighted, but I copyrighted it, so it's mine." And they said, "Oh, you still can't do it. You can't say fish tank." I said, "You can't say fish tank?" He said, "No, they don't know it's Fish Tank. They think it's Famous House." And of course, I didn't have time to write another song for Famous House, but I understood that they didn't even know at the time. Now this was back on November 6th, I think was my 10 o'clock at night was my performance. I had no idea that it was going to be so I don't know. It was they much less structured. The first time they were trying to control exactly what I did and everything, and they they would have the girls sit on my lap, and I was supposed to move their mouth or something, and But anyway, but they asked me to come back. So the second time, so I had all this material prepared, and I couldn't do anything. But it still worked out. And then what was really frustrating was the fact that I had my Bose S1 Pro sound system. It's the one the DJs use, and it's plenty loud. I can always turn it up, but I usually have to turn it down. But it was connected via Bluetooth, so I had to have Bluetooth on, and it was connected, via my phone. So.
Yeah.
I have Bluetooth on, and I couldn't shut off Bluetooth because that would shut off my music. And I had all my band had recorded all this music that I use in my act. So I didn't have any. Anyway, to make a long story short, I started getting phone calls. I got international phone calls, and I was getting phone calls and text during my performance. And I was like, it was very frustrating because it would stop the music, and I would get these international calls, and I kept hitting, whatever you hit on an iPhone to say,
Yeah.
you're not going to take the call, kind of thing. But anyway, so to make a long story short, I fixed that. I got the iPhone 16. But now, so now I have one phone for music and another phone. This is the iPhone 16. It just came, so I have this one for my music and this one for international phone calls and stuff. So I can actually shut this off and I won't get any phone calls. So
You heard it here first, folks. Kevin got two phones, one for the trap and one for the hose.
Hey man, we all have trap phones here. Don't worry.
But it was important because I usually don't get phone calls, but I've got a fairly big performance. I mean, I consider it a big performance because somebody contacted me and asked me to come to Ocean City, New Jersey on New Year's Eve. And I said, well, no, I don't travel that far. I use it. I just, mainly New England, and I can do stuff on Zoom if you want to do something on Zoom. No, we don't want Zoom. We want you live. And I said, well, no, I really don't want to go. It's a 6-hour drive, and I like staying in Boston and stuff. And besides, the cost of gas and everything, I can't fly because I got to take my puppets, and I can't. I could check them, but I'm not gonna check Jerry. I mean, he was created by Mike Brose, who passed. So my puppet is basically it's irreplaceable. I can't get another Jerry. The guy's dead. So I've never checked him. I've always taken him as when I go on a plane or something, I take it as cargo, or as, you know, I mean, as a carry on. And,
Yeah.
and it's always interesting to go through security with the puppet. they really, what is that in there? You know, and so they take it out to check out. But on anyway, the point is that they kept insisting that, you know, that I come down, and I said, well, I really, you know, I really don't do that. They said, oh, just send us a quote, please. Just send us a quote, and we'll see if we can get it past it. And I said, okay, well, all right. So I thought up, you know, I'll submit a quote, but you know, but I don't want to go. So I submitted. I thought of a number, and I thought of a ridiculous number, absolutely ridiculous number, and I was ready to send it in the invoice, and then I thought, you know, there's a possibility they might take me up on that. Then I'd have to go. I better increase it. So I increased what I thought was a ridiculous amount to an even more ridiculous amount, and I sent it. And of course, you know what happened. They came back and said, "Oh yeah, sounds good. We want to, you know, and we'll throw in $250 for gas, and we'll give 2 nights hotel." And I said, "Okay." So,
Oh no,
I mean, I
a
sent it, you know.
Bostonite in New Jersey.
Yeah, Ocean City, New Jersey. It's 6 hours to drive down there, and because it's going to be a performance, I'm going to have a whole bunch of my puppets, so I can't fly. You know, I could take Jerry. I do take Jerry on my when I go out to the Vent Haven convention every year. Well, we have this convention every year, and Jeff Dunham's there, and Terry Fader, and Nina Conti, and the best ventriloquists in the world are there.
So why are you there? You're not that good.
I know, Jerry. I know, but so we have this. Everybody flies into Cincinnati Airport, which is actually in Hebron, Kentucky, and there's a convention in mid-July. And I always take my puppet as my carry-on and try to limit the amount of baggage and stuff. So I never check anything. But if I flew to Ocean City, New Jersey, I've got all these puppets in cases, and if I lose them, you know, I'm out of work. I can't replace Jerry. And the one that I had special. I mean, you know, like Doug the Talking Dog. Elvis! No, Doug, please, not that. Elvis! I'm sorry. Did you see his impersonation of Elvis Presley?
I did not.
No, you didn't. Okay.
No.
So, are you gonna sing Hound Dog? Not yet. Not yet. No. What are you gonna do? Elvis! Okay, he wants to do his impersonation of Elvis Presley, and I have to explain to children that Elvis Presley was a singer that died a long time ago. So you want to say you gonna do your impersonation of Elvis Presley? Yeah. Okay. Ready? Yeah. I'll count to 3. You do your impersonation of Elvis Presley. Yeah. Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Doug, get up. They got the joke. They got the joke. I'm dead. Doug, get up. I'm dead. I can't see. You can't see? Why can't you see? My eyes are marbles. Oh, you're right. Okay. Okay, Doug. So I have all these. So I have all these different puppets that are just so much fun.
2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, and then so at the convention last year, I had Chelsea the chimpanzee sing a song, and well, she couldn't sing, but her son Johnny could. His name is Johnny. I said, Johnny, are you going to be good? And Johnny, be good. And
Voice.
No, you got the wrong voice.
No, it's you. Hi, 1, 2, 3, 1.
Okay.
You're really ugly. Get a haircut. You look ridiculous.
I can't afford a haircut.
Why?
I have a son in college.
Still?
Yeah, he's still in college.
Why?
Well, he wants to be an anesthesiologist.
Oh, like you.
No, I'm a ventriloquist.
Yeah.
I actually.
An
Oh,
anesthesiologist
sorry.
puts people to sleep. An anesthesiologist puts people to sleep.
Yeah, I know. Like you.
God.
I actually wanted to bring up your son if possible. He helps you with quite a lot of your ventriloquism stuff. From some of the research that I've done, it looked like some of the stuff I saw. He is like your production, like your video production manager for some of the videos you do and stuff like that. That's awesome. How did you end up getting him involved in this?
he asked if he could help. And I said, sure. And so he explained things to me like, there was this thing called TikTok, and there was, these other things, Snapchat and other. And so he explains that, what I have to do, and I can't be recording in landscape mode anymore. It has to be, horizontal for Instagram. It can't be like this. That's not the way you do it. Now you got to do it like that. And so you record on like that. And anyway, but he's a joy to work with. He's extremely creative. He has. I tell him, he has more creativity in his little finger than I do in my entire body. But he certainly has helped me and made me aware of other things. And he notices trends and stuff and is able to suggest things that I could and should do. And so he helped me with my first performance, my first virtual performance on Facebook Live. And it was a total disaster because the phone fell off it was horrendous. And I didn't know, but there's up to a 27-second delay in Facebook Live. So when you're doing something live for 27 seconds before people see that, and it's just but you learn to adapt, and it's been an honor to work with him. I was gonna see if he could join us tonight and stuff, but he's working, so he has other things. I mean, I can't pay him enough to do it full time, but he has been a great help, and his name is Lance Driscoll, and it's been it's always a joy, if you can work with your son. Most people, I know a lot of parents, they can't. I went to the Berklee College of Music, and they would have very, very the children of very famous people would be there, and I'd say, well, why are you at Berklee? Why don't you just study with your dad? And he says, I can't learn from him. So I can't work with Dad. Oh, okay. So you're here at Berklee like everybody else. So it was, but it was awesome. I'm sorry. Again, I'm talking way too much. How
you are fine, man. I actually wanted to bring up your college background since you brought that up. You have quite an extensive college background, going to Berklee, going to other different colleges, and then eventually graduating at Massachusetts. Can you tell us some of your college stories?
Yeah, well, I went to Berklee. Actually, I went to the Berklee College of Music when I was 16. They had a summer program for high school kids. And again, I really was. It's not a joke. I am from Sumner, Nebraska, and the population is 236 people. So I went to this, I read downbeat. Anyway, I heard about Berklee, so I found out there was this summer evaluation program. In other words, you go there for 7 weeks, and at the end of the 7 weeks, they tell you whether you're any good or not, or whether you have a chance, a shot at music. And when I got there, there were more people in the dorm than there were in my entire town. And I met. I'm from Nebraska, which is it's, everything you heard about it's true. When Nebraska's on Central Standard Time, right?
Yeah.
Time zone. So when you cross the state line, when you go into Nebraska, you have to set your watch back 1 hour and 10 years. So it's really kind of rural. So the opportunity to go to Berklee was just absolutely amazing. So I went there and I took drum lessons with Alan Dawson, who was Dave Brubeck's drummer after Joe Morello passed, and he was phenomenal. Amazing instructor. I was practicing 8 hours a day just to get, for my lesson each week, and I only had 7 lessons. So and it was but it was a phenomenal school back then, and it still is. I graduated in 1973, and I went back a few years later. Maybe about 10 years later, I guess, because electronic music had changed so much. I wanted to understand more about electronic music because I took electronic music when I was there. They had the ARP synthesizer and the Odyssey and different things, but everything had changed so much in 10 years that I thought, well, I need a refresher course or to figure out something. So I went back and took another course, and it was still a phenomenal school that it was. But I learned that, no matter what, if you can have all this fancy equipment and all this stuff at your disposal, but if you write a melody and the melody sucks, melody sucks. That's all there is to it. You have to do something. So I write children's music, and stuff that's very simple. Just five. You try to keep it to 5 or 6 notes. Like today we did. I had the people volunteer. Well, I asked them to volunteer to wear my ventriloquist face mask. Do you know what a ventriloquist face mask is? Did you?
You had Alex B and Smack wear them.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
and
it's half of a mask like that, and then the person puts on the mask and they put it on their head, and you can control the mouth. And then you and I had the one for the female. So you put the one on the female. They did the same idea. 1, 2, 3, high. Wow, he's hot. Okay, all right. So they wore them, and I do sanitize them with those Clorox COVID extra wipes, and I do it 3 times. So 99.9% eliminates bacteria and viruses. So, and I do it 3 times, so hopefully they won't die of COVID. But so they wore them, and it was you're right. It was Alex B and Smack, and they wore those. And then afterwards, I couldn't use the mask again, so I got 2 other people, and Bert was one of the people that volunteered to sing the song "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star." I mean, he didn't know before he sang it, and so I just have them. I tap them on the shoulder and have them open their mouth, and then I make the sound. So I tap them on the shoulder, and when my hand is on their shoulder, I ask them to open their mouth. So it's like. So and if they can do that, and Bert they did great. They were fun, and they did the high five thing afterwards and stuff. And so the idea is to have something that's interactive, because you don't want to just stand up there and tell jokes. I mean, it's okay, but you can do more if you get the audience involved, and if they can participate and they can be part of the show. It's much more fun to have people participate and join in than just to have something like today. So it's the 5 notes again. Just that's a simple song. So it's I have on my website. This is a no bully zone. This is a no bully zone. It's just 5 notes. So you try to keep the melody simple, so that when you're entertaining children, that it's something they can remember, and it's repetitive, so that it kind of sticks in their head and stuff like that. So that's one of the things I learned at Berkeley. If you write for children, you want to keep it within a range that they can sing. And I'm just so lucky and so blessed that I had to have this. But again, I haven't had much sleep. I don't know if you could tell, but I was Santa Claus last month, or no, this month, and it was 2 and 3 performances a day. One day I did 4 performances as Santa Claus with my puppet, with my elf on the shelf, and it was just different times. So I haven't had a lot of sleep, but I'm having so much fun, and this month I can even pay the mortgage. But
hell yeah!
So it helps out a lot. But again, it's just so much fun, and ventriloquism is something that anybody can do if you can talk. If you can't talk, I did every year. I go to a place in Medford, Massachusetts, and the adults, they're severely physically, mentally, and emotionally handicapped. But I go there every year, and I wear my Santa suit, and they think I'm the real Santa. I mean, it's, and they a lot of them can't speak, and there's nonverbal and stuff. So not everybody can be a ventriloquist. So if you can talk and you can be a ventriloquist, try it. It's so much fun. It's just, and you don't have to be the world's greatest. Just have fun with that, and then you can do what they did on Ed Sullivan. You can have someone do a. Well, I'll show you. Okay, so I'll show you an example here. Let's see if this works. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. See if I can bring up one of my puppets. Okay. Okay. I want you to. Can you sing the words? Sing the Happy Birthday, our short version. Okay. I'll start the music again. Can you sing?
Happy birthday. You can clap along. Hope you like your birthday song, cause it's not very long.
Okay, so you get the idea that you can write stuff, and then whoops, apparently you do need a sound man, but I don't know. Could you hear the voice the second time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could hear the lyrics, but obviously that sounded good, so it wasn't me singing. So I just paid a friend of mine who's a professional vocalist to record to sing the words. So the first time you just do the music track, and then the second time you add the voice and you pretend like it's the puppet singing. So, and they would do the exact same thing on the shows back in the '60s with Ed Sullivan and different these black and white TV shows. They would have the musicians record a song, and then you would see the puppet master or whatever it was. You would see them just move the mouth, and it was on TV, so you couldn't tell where the sound was coming from. So I tell people at the end, if it sounds good, it's really not me. But so, and you can do that, so you can lip sync any song. Just have a puppet lip sync, and you can make it talk kind of thing. So it's good.
Is that good
So-
practice when you're doing it to someone else's voice?
The manipulation is still there, and you still want to have the puppet appear lifelike. You always want the puppet to appear lifelike. You don't want a puppet to just stand there, like that. You want it to appear lifelike. And at the convention, when I take lessons on ventriloquism and study with people that are very, very good, they tell you that it's really acting for two. So you need to, well, at least two, sometimes more, because if it's a lot of times I'll have like two separate puppets, one on each hand. But they tell you to you should use your phone and record it. Record you and the puppet doing your routine. And then when you watch it, put a piece of paper over you and just watch the puppet. And then play it back and put a piece of paper over the puppet and just watch you. So you need to react and have a real dialogue and make it look like there's two separate people. So you want to always focus on the fact that the puppet has to appear lifelike. And once once you keep that in, I mean, obviously, I mess up a lot of times and don't, because you just sit there, the puppet, or you're doing something, adjusting the music or something, and the puppet just sits there. But you always want to have the puppet moving in some way, doing something, looking at something, like, okay, all right, all right. This is okay, like that. Okay, you're naked. You need a puppet. You need a puppet. No, I'm a nudist. I'm a nudist. Okay, all right. Okay. So, but you get the idea. And then I put on I don't have the ring, but a googly eye, and you make it so that you can have the puppet appear like it's going to. Well, if so, for example, if you have a you can just put I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to adjust here so you can see, like,
Yeah, we can see it.
like okay. So and then a doll's body on like that. Let's see.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's not hard, it's easy.
So the word easy has two syllables. So you say easy, two syllables. And you can all say it's not hard, it's easy, because there's no P's or B's in that sentence. So you can just say, can you say can you?
I don't care. Go on. 1, 2, 3. It's not hard, it's easy.
Okay, so you get the idea. But okay, I don't think you sound very good. Can you stick out your tongue? No, please just stick out your tongue.
No.
Please stick out your tongue. Okay. All right. Okay.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Talk to the hand. Oh, I guess you are.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's I have so much fun. This is I'm sorry. I'm still talking way too much.
No, dude, and I will say it until the end of this interview. I'm having a great time listening to you. You are genuinely a joy to be around and to talk to. Like you embody like Santa pretty well. So I like that's like your side business is that you're Santa. You're just jolly and happy, and I love it. It's amazing.
Okay.
We are.
Yeah,
that
you were
was a-
probably the
that
best
was a
person
real
we've had on
call
the
there
show.
from Providence, Rhode Island. Obviously, I don't answer phones, but that was my other phone. You notice it didn't affect the music. So and anyway, so
So we're approaching the last like 15, 20 minutes of the interview. I know you want to get out of here at about 9 o'clock, 9:10.
well,
I've
nothing I want.
got
Just that I made a commitment to Harvard University that I
yeah,
would perform.
yeah.
Right.
So
I
I've got
don't-
a
Great.
We
a
want to get
few
some more
more
people from the audience involved, so we're gonna drag some people up, just so they
Okay,
can
sounds good.
talk with you, ask you some questions.
Yep,
Sounds good.
I'm gonna ask one question while he starts dragging people up. So towards the end of your visit, Bert ran away from you and hid in the bathroom. Did production tell you why?
No, I had no idea. I heard something, later on that, but I mean, they can do or say anything. I'm not in control, but I didn't know why, and I honestly had no idea why he would go into hide in the bathroom. It didn't make any sense. And then and then Sam came out and got me, and said, basically, he took me by the arm, and but I wasn't finished with my show yet.
We got
And
Goosemas.
I was
Be
so.
unmuted.
The whole show was I come into the room, and ordinarily, I'm behind the curtain and I get everything set up. I have all my puppets in the right place. I have everything. I know where everything is, and the curtain opens and then I perform. And that's normally what I do. But here, everything was live, and they didn't know that it was live. So I walked in, and I'm setting up the speaker. I'm doing all this stuff, and it just looks so unprofessional. I'm going, this is terrible. What's going on? And then plus I didn't know. I mean, they seem to enjoy it, but you never know. What is the audience doing? And then they had the AI thing going, and they're like, what is that? What does that sound? And anyway, so Sam took me by the hand, and then one of the other people went. And I was supposed to convince Bert to come out of the bathroom, and it was like I had no idea. And I think somebody later said I only found out after the fact, like 2 weeks later, from somebody that contacted me that they said I was a pedophile or something. And if you do a background check on me, you'll find out that I was cleared of all those axe murder charges. They couldn't make any.
That's absolutely horrible.
But say, yeah, like it was supposed to be a joke just to mess with Bert, but I was curious if they had let you in on the joke prior
No.
to it.
No, I had no idea. But
Would you have leaned into it? Would you have leaned into it if they had told you prior?
The answer is I don't know. I've never been called a pedophile before, but there's always a first time. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a first for everything.
yeah, but no, the answer is I had no idea, and I wasn't really sure what was going on, other than and the fact that they didn't even know it was Fishtank. It was. I mean, it was like all these things that I'm not used to. Were all and I was so discombobulated by the fact that my phone would ring. It just made it. Oh, there's is that pronounced Goosemas?
Yes, this is this is Goosemas. So I'm gonna let the fans take over for the rest of the interview up until the very end. At the very end, we'll plug all of your socials and where people can donate to you. So I'll let Goosemas get to ask questions.
I'm not that good. I somehow they got stars on Facebook, and everything I post I have to tick off stars. Don't send me money.
I wholly disagree, Kevin. I think you're phenomenal. I hope that they ask you back in future seasons. Man, maybe so. No, you're good. Actually, so I hope this wasn't a question that was already asked. I was out and about a bit, but I'd be very shocked to find out if this wasn't the weirdest show you've ever done. The show and the former and the Fishtank show. But if presuming this is, what is the second weirdest show you've ever done? Have you ever had another kind of incident where you're like, where am I besides this?
The first one would be the first time I was on Fishtank, and the second weirdest show would be the second time I was on Fishtank.
Is there a third one then? Rather, I guess is there a third weirdest one? Any other experiences you've ever had anything like this in your life?
Never anything like this. As I mentioned, the first time I did Facebook Live at the start of the pandemic, when I didn't know anything about virtual or anything like that, and my son was in another city and trying to help me, and I didn't know there was a 27-second delay and all that stuff. So that was pretty horrendous. I did some interviews and the Boston Globe and stuff, and I said, it was my first experience online live was terrible. It was everything, the phone fell off the holder, and it was just everything was so. Other than my first experience going virtually live for the very first time, it's all Fishtank is. It is absolutely amazing. And you never know what's going on. You never know what's going to happen. And Sam comes and grabs you by the arm, and I guess I better go. But I haven't finished my act yet. And I've never actually gotten the hook before. So I didn't know if I had said something wrong or what. Why were they taking me out of? I was doing.
Yeah.
I was like 3/4 of the way through my show, and then he takes me to another room. It's like, all right, okay, But no, it's never anything. Fishtank has been the ultimate experience. It was so much fun, and the people were so great to work with, and people said some things about Bert, but he was fine. At the first part, he did volunteer to be my human dummy, and he sang Twinkle Twinkle. He did great. It was. Everybody was
awesome.
so good and so fun to work with, and I really didn't know them because I just went into the room and there's these 10 people I'd never met before, But it was awesome.
And now this is my second question. I'll let the other fans ask. They've tried with, I think, a few other people. I think they tried with like a psychic at one point, a few other people to try to get them on the show. But typically speaking, you're, I think, the only one I've seen come on multiple times, besides maybe I think the hairdresser during season 3, that is like done really well, where they've kind of pulled from this sort of completely out of left field way and pulled them onto the show. Do you think I think a lot of the times that harshness of it is very difficult, and of course that's part of the humor, but do you think there's something they could do to drag more interesting people like yourself into a show like that without scaring them off right away? Any tips for the production that you would give them?
They're obviously, it's like the answer is that question is way above my pay grade. Obviously, Sam knows what he's doing. I'm sure they have ideas, and I'm sure they're going to try stuff and do different things. And it's the 80-20 rule, like in life. 80% of the
Yeah, sure.
You try some things and not everything works. Johnny Carson, and not every single joke landed. And then he would make fun of the fact that the joke that bombed and stuff like that. So and Conan O'Brien and all the Jimmy and Jimmy Kimmel and everyone, they try stuff. And Sam obviously is a marketing genius. I didn't know this at the time, but one person said there were over 10,000 watching, and somebody else said no, there were over 20,000 people watching. Can you imagine the technology? I was a high-tech person, and even just to do this, look at the screen. We're all here, different parts of the world, and it's like 4K. It's the resolution is great. You can hear the voice. You hear my music. When you do Zoom, you have to click the thing that says original sound. Otherwise, after a few minutes, it starts sounding like the music. Everything is underwater. So you got there's each platform has a few little idiosyncrasies you have to learn how to deal with. But if you just look at the screen, and you see all these people, and to have 10 or 20,000 people, one person said 20, and one person said over 10. So I don't know. And there's no way to go back and check it
across lots of places.
It
There's lots
depends
of
what you're
platforms.
measuring.
Yeah.
20,000 people watch something. That is, that's amazing. I was on a Zoom call, and they had the maximum was back then was 1,000, but I was on this. It's a long story, but a Zoom call. But there were husband and wives or partners, two people together watching from the same frame. So it was well over 1,000 people, but they did hit the maximum of 1,000 on Zoom. So I did things like that. But the technology has just increased so much. I mean, I started off in high tech. Long story, but a foot, 1 foot by 1 foot was a 1/4 meg of board. You put in 4 of those 1 foot boards into a VAX computer to make 1 megabyte. And you know how much, and there's gigabytes on this thing, gigabytes.
Yeah. Almost a terabyte in a lot of them, some of them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, terabytes. I have so many videos. I have pay for terabyte storage,
Kevin, thank you so much for being that. You said the 80-20 rule. Thank you for being the 20. It was it's a really fun to watch you on the show, man.
It really is.
You're a blast. Awesome. I'm gonna head now so that other people can ask questions. Thank you so much for answering them, Kevin.
Okay. Bye. All right. Next.
This is our boy Thunder. He has a few questions for you, and then after him, I think we're gonna do our closing statements and then plug you, and then I think we'll be good for the night.
Very good. Okay, Thunder, I'm here.
Hi. So nice to meet you, Kevin. It's awesome to meet you. We were watching. Everybody was rooting for you on the show. You made everybody's nights. So I was just wondering, genuinely, what's your favorite hobby, stuff to do other than your work? And obviously, you love to do that. So what's your favorite other than work hobby?
I can't say that I have any hobbies. I have music. I did go to Berkeley, and that was my undergrad. So composing, writing music, if you want to call it a hobby, but I make money at it. So I don't know. You can call that a hobby. People always said I needed a hobby, but I don't know. I'm having so much fun, and so in music, and I do have a jazz trio, and if they can't afford a jazz trio, I have a jazz duo. So a duo, a trio, or a quartet. So so we play at some of the high end, like the Oak Room at the Fairmont Copley Plaza in Boston, the Ritz Carlton, and places like that. So my jazz trio will play those, and then if they can afford it, I hire either a male or a female singer, depending on what the occasion calls for and stuff. So I love performing and playing music. And writing and recording music, it's just a blast. I used to do radio and TV commercials, and that was before Mick Jagger started selling his stuff. But I would record at the Cars studio in Boston and in Newbury Street, and it just in the fact that I can find such great musicians in the Boston area. Somebody contacted me. They had a 100th birthday party, and I can't say his last name, but his first name was Percy, and he had a 100th birthday party, and they wanted a marching band. And I said, well, okay. They wanted a brass band, so I hired one guy to play trombone. He's with the Boston Symphony Orchestra. The other guy is a Boston Pops Orchestra. You get these phenomenal musicians, and you just pay the money, and they show up and perform with you. And I passed out the music. And we did traditional stuff, like. When the Saints go marching in and stuff like that. And so we played, we did traditional. I mean, the guy's 100, so you do patriotic music, and he was in the service and everything. So the Marines hymn and all that kind of stuff. So we do a little concert, and it's the idea is you want to try to spread joy as much as possible, and music is certainly one way to do that. And it's just music, it's a universal language. Everybody can respond to music. It's awesome. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I mean that was. I mean, I don't want to take too much of you guys' time. That's all I wanted to ask. But that was it was an awesome answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for awesome. Continue doing what you're doing. So.
I will as long as I can, because I mean most people my age are retired, but I don't know what I would do if I was retired. You have to have a reason to get up in the morning, and fortunately I'm able to do this, and I'm just having so much fun, and I get exposed to so many different things with people just contact you and ask you, well, can you do this, can you do that, and some of the stuff I won't do, I won't do X-rated stuff. Not because I mean, put myself through Berkeley. I was a drummer at the Combat Zone in Boston, so I was backing up strippers. So I don't pretend to be this. I don't pretend to be this, this holier than thou guy, because I was making money, and I kept, and I had to give 10% to Bob Smith each month, and I never met Bob Smith. He was the agent. I had to give 10% to Bob Smith, somebody I never met, but that was, and then it was back then. This was, and I didn't have a. I was at the Berkeley College of Music at the dorm, and to go to downtown, you take the subway. But I figured, well, I bought a little kid's bike, and I rode the bike to the Combat Zone. And the guy out front, Mario, said, "I like the bike. I want to buy the bike." I said, "No, I really can't sell the bike. I just got it. I needed to ride back and forth. I want to buy the bike. Give me the bike." And I said, "I really can't. I really can't sell you the bike. I need it." He said, "You want a call? I'll give you a call for the bike." So the point is, I've had so much fun, and I've had such a great experience, and I really am just a hick from the sticks in Nebraska, transported to Boston, which is a phenomenal city. I just it's just amazing. And then to get look at this technology. Look what we're doing here. It's absolutely awesome. I love it.
So before we do our closing statements, we brought one more person in here that wanted to show you his own puppet that he has.
Oh,
this is
nice.
Yeah, this is how do I say your name? Is it like I never say it right?
Yeah, it's spelled wrong intentionally. So, but I really didn't have any questions, but my my friend here did. So they wanted to be dragged into the chat just to ask. I don't know what they were going to ask me though, so I'm just going to ask them really quick if that's okay, and then I'll tell you. Thanks for helping me put my mic back on. You're the best. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is Janae, and Janae wanted to ask if you knew any, maybe like some ladies, like knew any lady raccoons. I kind of thought it was a little bit inappropriate, but maybe.
Let's see. How about? This is the McDonald's hand puppet. This is the first puppet that I.
Yeah. What did you want? What did you? Okay. No, that's ridiculous. Okay.
See, it's great. The puppet can say.
Janae wants to know if that reptile is single.
It's not real.
Oh.
How
Janae,
well
it's not
endowed?
real.
How well endowed is the lizard?
What?
Kevin, is the real question.
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
That's crazy.
So
Yeah.
as we start to wrap this up, I wanted to how can people get a hold of you, Kevin? What's your plug? What's your socials? Don't shake your head no at me. We think we love you and we want to support you. What's your socials? We've got a channel.
Hashtag Driscoll Productions, like the strawberries, only no relation. Driscoll, Driscoll, Driscoll Productions. The website, driscollproductions.com. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they're all Driscoll Productions. So it's really pretty simple. Okay.
Well, at the top of our server, we have a channel called Fish Announcements. And we have all of our important people that were on Fishtank that we care about and we actually want to hear from. We tell them to post any socials that they're doing anytime they go live on, whether that be Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, whatever. If you go and post in there, whether it's like you're going live or say you wanna post a Cash App for someone, or somebody that's like needs a Kickstarter, or just something that you support, anything that you want said, say in there, say it in there, and we will 100% go and support it every
Or
single
even if you
time.
reach out to someone on this server, we can go ahead and post it in there for you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. It's just if you just put hashtag Driscoll Productions, I'm on I had a boss who he said be on everything. This was when I was a general manager for the internet company, and obviously I wasn't the the head guy. Head guy is the guy that owns it and that pays me. And so just hashtag Driscoll Productions or DriscollProductions.com, and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Hopefully TikTok will still be around. It's Driscoll Productions, all one word, no space. But that's it. And thank you so much for the opportunity. This has been great.
Of course, one more thing before you go. This is Clyde asked me to ask you this specifically because he wasn't able to make it here, and he asks everybody that we interview, is there any way that you or Jerry, and Jerry could say it too, is there any way that we could get you guys to say, I would kill myself for Fag C?
Don't say that. Say Fishtank alternative group chat. That's the name of the group.
Yeah. So
what's the last word? Fag C?
You could either
it's
that
Fishtank alternative group chat.
Yeah, Fishtank alternative group chat. I would kill myself for Fishtank alternative group chat.
I would kill myself for Fishtank alternative what? Alternative what?
Group chat.
He doesn't know. He can't even talk. I would kill myself for. I'm not real. How the hell can I say it again?
Jeremy, okay, Jeremy, would you, Jerry, would you say I would chipper myself for Fishtank alternative group chat?
I would Fishtank I would wood chipper myself.
All right. On that note,
I don't know.
Thank you so much for tonight, Kevin. You were, and I seriously cannot stress it enough. You are the most fun I have had interviewing somebody. Period. So far, you are one of the most enjoyable people I've talked to. Everything about you is just happy and just exciting, and you're just a funny guy. And we love you, dude. I want you to know that. I'm willing to guarantee Excelsius is going to get a hold of you in the future for a follow up. Just because we want to start doing follow-ups with everybody we interview, check in how they're doing, see how their socials are growing, et cetera, et cetera. So
very good. Awesome. Gotta love it. I can't thank you enough for this opportunity. It's been awesome. And thanks for bringing in the other puppet.
Oh yeah.
And
have a great
and once
event
again,
tonight,
yeah, have a great time. We hope it goes well. And once again, thank you. It was a blast.
And
Okay,
Janae
thank
says
you.
bye.
Bye.
It was nice
Bye.
meeting you.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Bye-bye.
thank you for
Bye, Jerry.
being here.